Good morning and welcome to Qigong Live Online this morning. It's a beautiful sunny day in Bali here today, hot and steamy. So we're going to do something come up with, and I'd like to say if the people are on, I know there's people watching this, and I know that Mark's here, so good morning Mark and welcome to the class. If you want me to, because I always like to know who's watching, you don't have to do it if you want to, just message me and say hello and then your name comes up so I can say hello to you. It's okay if you don't, I'm fine, but if you want to. So we're going to do something about rotation. Somebody asked me about the idea of the ring rotation, having a ring outside of you. And I said I'll bring it up and I'll do it in the weekly class today. And I'm going to do that to understand a principle of how you can move your body with an idea. You move it, you change the idea. And we've done this different versions of this. We're going to do a different one and I'll talk a little bit about it. But I just want to warm up first before we do that. So we're just going to do our head first. We'll just do a 5-minute warm up before the class, and then I'll talk about the different parts of the rotations. So these classes aren't so much an exercise class where we do a whole sequence of exercise and you just follow me and do exercise. It's more, because these are advanced lessons, it's more about the intricate pieces that are inside the Qigong exercises. So then you can take all of these pieces and put it into your Qigong practice, which you already practice. If you don't already practice one, go and do one of my courses so you do the Qigong. And then you can add what I'm talking about to the actual exercise, and it gives you a deeper level or deeper understanding of what's actually happening inside the exercise. And so these are cueing you to go really deep into your physical practice to understand your energy movement at a deeper level. Yep. The basic one, the beginner's one I do after this one, of course. We do exercises in that one, so it's slightly different. We just do basic exercises for beginners, but you can take that, if you've got time, you can do both of them back to back. And you can take that class, or what we learn from this one, and take it into that class and practice with those exercises we do. If you want, or not. So we want to warm up our whole body, warm up all our joints. Now you'll have your own stretching things, the way you stretch. I do particular ones, but there's lots of different ones you can do. And so you just got to work out which ones you do. As long as you're stretching and you're activating all your ligaments and tendons in your body, and all the fascia and everything else, and all your muscles, activating them all before you start practicing, that's all you need to do. So we've done all our ones in our neck. We're doing the ones in the shoulders at the moment. We'll do the back, we'll do our arms, we'll do our legs. We do all of it. Cool, do our elbows. Do our wrists. And I say this is the shortened version. Normally do this longer, but I don't want to spend too much time. I don't want to waste our teaching part of the class on spending half an hour just doing the stretching. But the stretching is really important. Now we'll do our spine, side to side. So I do the spine in the 3 different directions. We go side and side, front and back, and then we do rotations. Because you want to have a nice relaxed spine and all the spinal vertebrae be able to move. You want them to be able to, so they're flexible. Very cool. Go forward. And this is not for your legs, this is for your back. So you arch your back right around, including your neck. And then you lean backward and go all the way backwards. And then you go forward, so you're doing the stretch both ways. Isn't it interesting? I get amused by things that I find humorous. Isn't it interesting the way the body was designed, that the spine can go all the way forward down to there, but it doesn't go backwards. It doesn't go, it only goes about to there backwards, because the way the construction of the spine won't let you do that, but it designs so you can bend forward. Clever piece of design, whoever designed it. Whoever designed the body to be like that. But there are some people I know can bend right over the backwards, but that's not generally to the rule. Anyway, now rotations, do that. Now we go to the side. Rotation right round. Cool. Now we're going to do two, because as we're rotating this one, I'm also rotating my ankles, my knees, and my hips. So everything's rotating around, including my spine and my neck. But to just do your spine, we need to stop moving our hips. And so we bring it to the front, and this time don't move your hips, just move the top part. And so then it's just the spine twisting, not your knees and not your hip. And so that's a different rotation. And go right up to your head, so you're doing your spine all the way around, then turn your head right around as well. So then the whole thing turns. Good. Do movement of the hips. Back the other way. Side and side. Forward and backwards. Good. Then do your knees. Put your feet together, do your knees. Stretch your hamstrings. Good. Other side. Good. That feels good. And go right down to our squats. Go right down. Do your ankles. Good. Shake the legs out. Perfect. There you go. Good. There we go. Whole body's nice and relaxed. Very good. So now we'll just bow. Bow into clasp. Put your hands on the side of your body. If you haven't done one of these clasps before, yes. Your hands on the side of the body with the thumbs facing backwards. Your thumbs are facing backwards. And you're going to roll back onto your thumbs. Yeah. Your feet are facing towards the 10 to 2. So you've got one foot facing towards 10:30 and the other one facing to 1:30. If 12 o'clock's in the front, if you use directions, the north's in the front. So we're going to go to the north and northwest and east. We're going to go to the northeast, northwest. Yeah. Very good. Roll back onto your thumbs. Bring your hands around. Left hand underneath, right hand on top. Two thumbs together. Gong. Make a fist with your left hand. Cover it with your right. Bring towards your body, towards your heart. And then down to your physical centre. Very good. Your physical centre is underneath your tummy button. Very good. Let's step to the side. Good. So we're talking about rotation. So we did a class. I'm not sure it's on the current library. I think it was on the old class library. There was another class library with 280 classes on it. But the YouTube ones we're doing now was just started again. And I think we're up to 34, 35. I'm not sure whether it's on it, but I'll talk a little bit about it. I might even do it next week. And the rotation is learning how to rotate the body from different parts of the body. So normally when you rotate, most people will turn from their hips, generally, without even knowing they're doing that. If you say to somebody, I'll turn that way, and they'll do that, and you say, what part's turning, they won't know what they do it, but they've just learned in their own mind, in their own body, in their own life, just to turn from their hips. Generally, some people will turn from their shoulders. It's just the way it is, doing what they've learned in their life. So we learned how to do, we can turn from rotating our neck, So my intention's in my neck, and I'm rotating the whole body from my neck. I can rotate from my shoulders So I'll do the whole class of this, but I just want to introduce this. I can rotate from my hips. I can rotate from my knees and let my knees turn me. And then I can even go down to my ankles and turn my ankles. And use the ankles to turn my body. The rest of the body is following what the ankles are doing. Yep. So we can do all of that. So there's the rotation, the idea of how we can tune our body. But we're going to bring a different concept. And this is the idea of, I was taught about like having a bearing. Bearings, and they have in cars and things. The bearings are round cylinder object and have ball bearings inside it, and then another layer of steel inside that. And the ball bearing spins around the ball bearings, and it spins around freely, but the outside doesn't move, but the inside was round, and because it's got ball bearings and it's got grease inside it, it spins really fluid. You can spin it and just keep spinning. Yeah, and it has this fluidity where there's no tension in it. And the more smoother it is, and the more perfect the balls are, the more perfect it is, the more it turns freely. Yep. And so the more expensive cars have this in precision, where the cheaper cars don't. There's not 100%. I mean, we're talking about difference of milliseconds or millimeters of difference. But the perfect one, it just spins, and you whiz it and spin it, and it'll just keep spinning for a long time, and nothing will stop it because it's like frictionless. So we'll use that idea, and we'll use another idea of having a hoop, like a hula hoop. You know those, I don't know if they call them hula hoops everywhere in the world, I don't know. That hoop that people put around their hips and they don't do that. That hula hoop. I'm not sure what they call it everywhere. Rings. And we have that idea that's outside there. So we're going to use both these concepts, and we're going to use them. So now instead of using the hips to move, or the knees to move, which is internal, we're using the internal part of our own structure to move. We're going to take it and we're going to take something outside of our body and bring our consciousness to something outside to move our body. Very different concept. Yep. And we'll start with a nice easy one. So think of the hoop out here, either side of you. So think of the hula hoop, because that's probably the easiest one. Most people know what that looks like. And think of the hoop around you. Now, it's been held there by itself. You're not having to hold it up. Well, actually, no, you can hold it up to start off with. I changed my mind. You can hold the side of it so you get the feel of it. And when you turn the hoops, and you've got to move the hoop, and as the hoop moves, you turn with it. Yep, that feeling. Now, this will feel a certain way. It could be a bit clunky to start off with. And you're turning, yep. Now, depending on your flexibility of your knees and your hips and your ankles, will be how far you can turn around. Some people will be able to turn right around, and some people won't. I was in a car with somebody the other day, and I was in the back seat, and they turned around to talk to me, and they turned their head right around. And they'll look at me directly like that when they were facing the front. I go, oh, that was really freaky. I said, whoa, you've got a flexible neck. It was the weirdest thing. Somebody's looking at you, and they're facing the other way. Anyway, moving on. So we're doing this idea. So it all depends on your flexibility of how far you can go around with this. But if you just think of the idea of the hoop, and you turn, and the body's turning. So now the body's turning from the outside. Something external from the body is making the body rotate. Yep. You feel that? And depending on, you want it nice and smooth, it just goes one side and comes back. Yep. And you're moving the hoop with your arms. I'm moving the hoop around, and I'm moving the hoop as though I was actually hanging on to it. You can actually, if you have a hula, you can actually do this physically, and you'll get to feel it even more precise because you'll be able to feel the hoop. And as the hoop moves, you move. Right? Okay, got that bit. Very good. Now I want you to do is with the hoop. I want to have like energy spike that goes right through it, like a spoke in a bike. Yep. And we're the center hub, and the spokes come into our body from the sides, and we have one from the front and one from the back of the hula hoop come to us, and the two from either side of us, and we hold it that way. Now we have these two pins, and the ones to the side from the hula hoop, and the one in the back like a bike, and we're the axis. And now it'll feel different because it'll be more precise, because now it's perfect. Yeah, that feeling. And that'll feel really different, and you'll be able to feel the whole body turn like that. And we're still moving our arms. Our arms are doing this. Just relax your arms, relax your shoulders, and you're moving like that. Yep. Cool. Good. Okay, next one. To stop yourself moving from wobbling from side to side, go back to our center column, which goes from Barkway, which is Do-20 on top of your head, and Hui Yin, which is Ren 1, which comes out between your anus and your genitals in the front, and send the spike into the ground. And it's an energy spike, so it comes straight from your head string, straight through the top of your body, through the ground, and that's a center column. Now see that as your axis, the axis of where your body's sitting, and that's just going to spin around it. So now hold on to your hoop, put the 2 spokes into that center column from the sides, put the 2 spokes from the front and back, into the center column, and so they both go into the center column that's going right through the middle, and they're onto the axis. Now when you turn now, it's going to feel different again. It's very precise now. There's no body movement. The body's not wobbling from side to side. It's rotating perfectly on top of the center axis, and the ring's turning around the outside. Yep, very good. Now I want you to drive the hoop or the ring around the outside of you. You're moving it with your arms. Yep, you're moving it with your arms. Good. And so the speed you go with your arms is the speed it's going to turn, and it's very fluid. There's no friction. There's nothing stopping it. It's just rotating from side to side. You'll feel the movement in your knees. You'll feel the twisting in your knees of the spine, but the energy is coming from the outside from the ring as it turns. Good. Got that. Good. Now I want you to bring your arms down. Now I want you to imagine the ring still there. Imagine the ring still there. Keep your arms down. And then with your mind, I want you to think of moving the ring with your mind, and let the mind move the ring. So your mind's attached to the whole ring all at the same time. So it's not that before we were using 2 points of contact on the ring with our hands. Now we're going to pick our mind, but our mind's thinking of the whole ring, and the whole ring's moving, and the mind's thinking of the whole ring as one piece. There's no separation. There's not 1 point of anchor, or 2 points in case it was to start off. Now we've just got one ring. That feeling. Yep. And you can feel what that feels like. And you've got, for coming from the center column, still the spokes are still attached to it, but it's moving from your consciousness, from your intuition, from your intention. It's moving from your intention from side to side. Good. Good. And just stop there. So we're going to do an exercise that is classic warm-up exercise for Qigong and for Tai Chi. It's just a warm-up exercise, and it's a rotation exercise. But we'll start it up, but don't think of the ring to start off with. I just told you not to think of it, you'll think of it. But do the best not to think of it anyway. And start off with just turning, and the body, and how it does is the body turns on the center column, and the arms just go from side to side like that. And so all you're doing is rotating on the center column, nothing else. Yep. Good. Now I want you to add the ring to it, and with your intention, move your ring and let your body just follow your ring. Don't let your arms can just keep flopping, but the ring's turning your body. And it still is connected to the center column. And it still has the spokes, the 4 spokes in the stage. We have 4 spokes. Good. So this is a classic warm-up exercise because it activates all the ankles, knees, hips, arms, shoulders. It's a very good exercise for warming up the whole body. One of those exercises you can do to unwind yourself at night time as well. You can do this exercise before you go to bed, and you can do it in the morning to wake your body up. But it also de-stresses yourself at night. And you just do it nice and quietly. Good. So stop there. I want to add something else to it now because it's just a concept in their mind. Now, if you have trouble visualizing things, do the best you can. Because some people are really good at visualizing, some people struggle a little bit. Just do the best you can. This time, what I want you to do is I want you to put the 8 directions, 8 spokes into the ring. So we've got the spoke going towards the north. We have a spoke going towards the south. We have a spoke going to the east and west. Now I want you to stick a spoke into the northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. And so you have 8 spokes coming up from the center column to the ring. Good. Now what it's going to do is stabilize the ring very differently. Yeah. And then turn that. And then turn the whole ring. Put your mind in the whole ring. So now you see it's got 8 spokes on it. So it's very precise, and it's turning your body from side to side. And so remember, it's out here. It's turning out there, but don't put your hands out there. Just think about it. You just need to have the consciousness of that. Okay? So notice what happens when you put the 8 spokes, how much more stable it's got and how much more stronger it's got. Yeah, and how much more power is in it when you put the eight spokes in it, the 8 directions, and you rotate in from the 8 directions. Now, if you think of it, the planet rotates, and the planet rotates north, south, east, west, and it actually goes right around us, but we can't turn right around because our body's not designed to do that. Otherwise, you could do the same thing. And so if you're looking at the North Pole from above the North Pole, looking down on the planet, it turns clockwise. Yeah. So we're doing the same thing. We're going from side to side, but we're understanding the connection of the end of the spokes. Good. So feel how strong that feels. Yep. With the 8 spokes, you turn. It's very different than when I was just turning with just your hands. You go back to just do your hands. Take the spokes off it and just hold it with your hands. And feel how flimsy that feels. And there's even a little bit of a movement at the end where the body's actually turning, and it's got a bit of a flip at the end. It's not stable. And then go back to putting the spokes on it, or actually leave your hands out there, put all the spokes back on, 8 spokes on, now turn it. Really different. And it's connected to the center column. Really different. Good. Take your hands down. Now we're going to go to the 16 direction. We're going to double it, and we're going to have north-north-east, north-north-south, north-north-west, north-north-east. So you're going to have the quarters again. So we've gone from the north, the east, to the northeast. Now we have the north-north-east, the north-north, the north-north-east, west, north-north-east. Yes, you get what I mean. So now we've got 16 spokes on it. Now turn it, feel what it feels like. This is why bikes have so many spokes. They don't have 2 or 4 because of the pressure on the wheel. Yep. Motorcycles now, of course, have big, even mag wheels have lots because there's a lot of power. But you see the mag wheel comes out in an arc, so it's different. But I don't want to talk about the technical part of that. But understand on a bike, so the more spokes you have, the more stronger the wheel is. Yeah. And there's a flexibility in the spokes as well. But now we've got 16. Feel what it feels like with 16 turning. It's a very different rotation, and you can feel that it's more complicated, and there's also more wind resistance with it. Yeah, I'll say that again so you can hear me. There's more wind resistance because there's more air getting caught up in the spokes. Because when you've only got 4 spokes, there's not much air. You could take in your mind, take it down to 4, north, south, east, west, 4 spokes. When you turn, there's not a lot of wind resistance of the spokes. Yeah, because there's only 4 of them. Now put 16 spokes back into it again and keep turning. Now you can hear it's like this. There's a whole lot of things. It's picking up a lot more air, so it's different. Yeah, it's still fluid, but there's air picking it up. So there's an energy that is moving lots of particles now. When there's 4, it's a lot easier. Good. Understand that principle of that. Good. You got that? Good. Now I want you to leave with the idea that the spokes aren't there, but they're energetic spokes without having the piece of the idea of the steel. There's no steel. They're just energetic spokes. Now turn. 16 energetic spokes. Now you notice it's free again. There's nothing stopping it again. You might have thought of this to start off with. You might not have thinking of steel spokes. I cued it a certain way. But if it's just energy, notice the energy 16 and it's really stable. Center column, really stable, really light, and turns freely. And it's like effortless. It just rotates from side to side. That idea. Good. New idea. Take all the energetic spokes off, keep the ring there, and just have the ring turning. Now see how free that is. Good. Now I want you to do is I want you to get the ring, put your hands on the ring, and I want you to shrink the ring. So shrink it as you don't, not squash it, it shrinks it so that the ring gets smaller. Yeah. And you want to pull it in, like telescopic ring, and you pull it in. So now the ring is touching the outside of your hips and it comes around the front. It'll go into the front a little bit and it'll go into the back a little bit, but it's touching your hips. So it's that close to the body. Good. Now turn with it that big. Now notice how small that is and how different it feels. Yep. Very different experience of what that feels like turning from the ring just here. Good. So these are all experiences. So these are all experiences of understanding how you can be moving your body from the outside. You're moving it from a intention, from something else. Good. Okay. Stop there. Now I want you to take it right inside, so it's just around, or you circle that big, around your center columns in the middle. It's only that big. Your ring's only that big, inside your body, and then turn the ring. Totally different feeling. Yeah. So feel the different power that it has when it's that small, and it's just turning from side to side around your center column. It's different, isn't it? And in contrast for that, take it right out wide again and put it wide, and just feel how much more power there is when it's way out there, and how much more movement there is. Yep. And then go back into the center where it's tiny. It's just small. Good. Now, one stage again, just have your center column turning. Now, your center column is one thickness of your finger going down the center column, and the center column is just your finger thickness. Yep. And just have that moving. Different again. Now, all of these are useful because there's exercises that do all of this. They do it from the outside, they do it from the inside, they do it from the center column. To learn how the body energetically moves. Because this, in the moment, we'll do most of it will be done physically. But energetically, what's happening inside the body is quite remarkable. Because this is about the understanding of energy moving from a different source. It's like a different power. Because when just this one's moving, just the head string, there's a certain power that comes with that, which is very different than when you're moving the ring on the outside. A totally different energy. This one has a big movement. I feel like it's this huge thing out here, where this one here is really, really tight and small. I shouldn't say tight, it's the wrong word. It just has a lot of power, it's just smaller. Yep. And we're turning on that. Good. So there's the three understands. So when we're doing exercise, you can bring that consciousness into the exercise. And I'll do a couple of them to show you the two different varieties of it. We'll do turn and gaze at the moon from the Shu Ba Shu, and I'll show you what I mean. And this time we're going to do the big circle with it outside here. So as we turn, the big circle turns, comes up, and then comes back to the center. And the big circle brings the hands up. That's it. Big circle comes down. And so you feel the rotation from the outside. The big circle connected to your center column. And the big circle is turning. Good. Stop there. We'll do another one. Put your feet together. So another big circle one. 5 elements. We'll do the earth exercise for the spleen. Bring your hands up. Turn. Big circle. Comes to the center, comes back. The hands come around to the front. Halfway around, your head and body stops, but your hands and your eyes keep moving. Big circle. Yep. Looking through your eyes. The hands. Big circle. Very good. Okay. So that's 2 of them. So we'll go the other way. We'll do a little circle. From your center column, just turn your center column. Wind Russell's lotus leaf from Shu Ba Shu. One hand comes up. And the rotation's happening on your center column. How small a rotation is. Coming from your center column and nowhere else. And so you see it's quite playful. It's small, so it's going backwards and forwards, small. Yep. So this is how you use a smaller one version of it. And of course the question is, can you use the big one? So that before we do that, put the big one back out again and do it with the big one turning. And you see what happens. It has a lot more movement. It wants to throw your arms out all over the place. Because it's got so much power, it wants to do this. It feels like it wants to do this. Yeah. And we don't want to do that. We want to keep it tight because this exercise is done internally tightly. And so that's why it's done like that. But as soon as you take it out to there, it has a very different feeling. And we don't want that. We want the tuning internally to do it. And so that's the example of the exercises. Well, when Russell Lotus, we've never done that. The hand comes up. The hips are turning, but we're not turning our hips. We're turning the center column. The center column comes round, and then the center column turns the other way. The hand goes down. The other hand follows it across and comes up, in case you haven't done these exercises. This is out of the Shu Ba Shu set as well, Shu Ba Shu Qigong. Comes across, comes up. turns. So this is internal, so we're doing center column movement, which is very different. And you want it this way because it's designed like this. It's designed to do this rotation in a smaller way, but you're driving it from the center column, where when we're doing the exercise, when we're doing turn and go to the moon, it's a big circle coming from the outside. So it's the turning, circumference of the turning is different. And the feel's different because of where you put your mind. Yeah. And so we're taking the idea away from just thinking of your hips moving, and now we're using the idea of concepts, energetic concepts in our body, so our body feels different. And you've noticed every time I change the wheel and give it a different thing, it feels different. It feels different inside your body, even though it's just a mental thought. But all of a sudden, the rotation feels slightly different. How you're doing it. Some feel a lot more freer. Some feel like they're a bit harder. Some people feel they're lighter, just by changing your mind. But from the outside, if anybody watched you, they've been thinking you do the same thing the whole time, because all it looks like from the outside is this. Except for how you're feeling on the inside is very different, because you change the way your mind thinks. And that's the difference. And this is part of the Qigong, because the Qigong exercise is the same. There's so many parts to the Qigong exercises. And what happens in the Qigong exercise is all a variety of understanding of where you take your mind. Where your mind goes, the Qi goes. Where your intention goes is what happens in the exercise. So there's lots of different intentions you have in the exercise. But you need to learn the Qigong exercise, the physical part of the exercise first. And then you need to learn the breathing of the exercise. And then you can go back to the finer piece about energetically what's really happening inside it. But you have to learn the exercise first, of course, which is obvious. And then you learn it physically, and then you learn how to do it energetically. Very different. Okay, we had a bit of a sound glitch then. Well, hopefully we're back on track. So these are the ideas, the concept of this moving with our body with the intention of something outside. So I want to give you another piece of this, because we've just been talking about the cylinder or the rim around your hips. That's only one concept, because you can have a rim around your shoulders. You can have one around your shoulders. So when we turn, the rim turns from outside of your shoulders. So if you hold your arms on here, you could hold it there and then turn your shoulders. Now the rim's turning your shoulders. Now there's exercises that do this as well, where you're turning, the whole shoulder part's turning. And you're hanging on to, I'm hanging on to the hoop or the ring, and it's right out there. It's still just the ring's turning. And so when you do that, it's right up here. It's your shoulders are moving instead of your hips. And when you're moving your shoulders, the whole body's moving as well. So it's a different concept or different location. Now the same thing from here. You can put the north, south, east, west rings into the center. Remember, it still goes back into the center column. It's right in the middle of in your throat. It's halfway between the front and the back as the center column goes down. So it's still connecting to the center column, but it's just up in your shoulders. So you can put the 4 directions, you can put the 8 directions, you can put the 16 directions, and turn the wheel from 16 direction. You can take your hands down and you feel like you've got this funny little big ring around your neck. Like it's got, somebody's put a bicycle ring on top of your head, and you're turning your head for the bicycle ring. Remember, the outside's moving. And so now you're moving your body from there, from your head, from your shoulders. It's actually coming from your shoulders, not from your head. Yeah, good. Understand that principle. So we'll keep going, because there's more than one, there's a few of them. So think of it from your third eye. Remember, we're talking about the centers. We're talking about your throat center, yeah, which is turning your shoulders, or your chest center, if you want to do your chest center, or turn it slightly down. We're talking about our lower dantian, which is what's moving the bottom one. Now we're going. You can go into your third eye, your highest point, and you can have the ring outside so you can hold it up there. That's attached. Well, you can actually hold it this way, hold it that way, and so it's attached to your third eye. And remember, it's still in the center column, but now the ring's right on top of your head, and it's attached right through your third eye from the front and the back. There's points for either front and the back of your head and either side. Gallbladder points on the side, yin tongues in the front, and there's a do-my point in the back. And now they're attached to the ring, and you're holding the ring, turning the ring, and your head's rotating, still attached to the center column. Yep. You can put all the north, south, east, west onto it as well, just to make it even more exciting. Take your hands down, and then turn your head from that ring. And how weird does that feel? Yep. And you're turning your whole body like that, from external energetic force. So you're learning, you're teaching your body the possibility that you can move yourself from somewhere other than inside yourself. That you can move it from a concept outside of yourself as now I'm moving my body and I'm not doing that, and something outside of me is moving it. Feels great with your head. Good. And we talked about the throat chakra, or the center to your chest chakra, and you can move it from the chest chakra. If you're holding one from your heart, you can rotate from your heart. You can hold it a bit higher, you can rotate from your neck. You can bring it a bit higher, and you can rotate from the third eye. So you can do all of these points. I use those symbology because we're talking about mental, spiritual, and physical centers. And we started doing the physical center. That's where we started, because it's a logical place to start. Yep. Very cool. So all of these centers can rotate. But the most important part isn't the fact that they can rotate. Is that they can rotate from something from outside of you. And I'll say that again. That your body can move from an energy outside of you that you can tap into, that moves your body, and it's not your physical body or energetic body doing it. Your intention is using energy outside of your body to move you without you doing it. And that's what we've just been doing. We've been moving our body from the idea or concept that something outside of you can move you. And you know it can because you've just done it. So then it opens a whole other door about you as a human being, about being moved by energy outside of yourself, because it does move you. And we've given it permission to do it, so we're actually asking it to do it. Yep. You can do the same thing from the center column. I'll give you the passing, I'll give you another piece of this. We'll do the spiritual aspect of this. Goes into the ground, into the Mother Nature of the earth, and the energy of Mother Nature moves you from side to side through the energy from Mother Nature, bottom of the center column, up through the body, out through the top of your head. And the Mother Nature energy, the yin energy of the earth, twist your body from side to side. Yeah? And let the yin energy of the earth turn you from side to side. It's not even coming from you, the earth's turning you. The energy of the ground's turning, it's not yours. And you're just following what that's doing, because you've given it permission to do this. So now, because your intention is, so you're saying to the earth, can you turn my body? And it goes, yeah, sure. And then it does it for you. And you sit there and you're not doing anything, it's doing it for you. You don't have to do anything at all. You just let go and it'll do it for you. And then, of course, we can do it the other way. So you can do from your headstring to heaven and get heaven to move you backwards and forwards. Whatever you believe is on the other end of the heaven one. Now, the heaven one's moving. You have to let go and just let them move you. There you go. Simple as that. Don't have to do anything at all. Here you go. So now we can move without us doing it. We can move because something else can do it for you. I'll leave you pondering the thought of that you can move without you doing it, and something outside of you is moving you. It's a great idea, isn't it? The push of heaven, the terminology has been guided by the push of heaven's finger. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Being guided by the push of heaven's finger. I love that. Have a beautiful day. If you have any questions, please ask. I hope you enjoy that. And take that idea into the Qigong, whatever exercise you're doing, and take it into the energy moving you out, especially rotation ones, because they're easy to do. There's an external force that's moving you. Yep. Have a beautiful day. Be guided around in your life today. Roll back onto your thumbs. Bring your left hand underneath right hand on top, 2 thumbs together. Gong. Open your hands, bring the energy towards your heart, and then bring your energy down to your physical center. Very cool. Have a beautiful day, everybody, out there in the big world. Well, it's probably not that big. Big to us, but it might not be that big. Not when we compare the galaxies out there outside of us. We're probably quite tiny. Anyway, have a beautiful day wherever you are. Have fun. Bye-bye.